You spent $10,000 talking to someone who never actually solved your money problems. What if that was the worst investment you ever made? Traditional therapy costs you between $150 and $300 per session in most American cities. That's not a one-time expense. You're going weekly, maybe twice a week if your insurance actually covers mental health, which 62% of plans barely do. Let's do the brutal math together. One session per week at $200 means you're spending $800 monthly. Multiply that by 12 months, and you've just allocated $9,600 of your annual budget to sitting in someone's office talking. Your insurance isn't saving you. They tell you mental health is covered, but here's what they don't mention in those corporate emails. The average copay for therapy is $55 per session even with insurance, and your deductible probably sits between $1,500 and $3,000 that you pay entirely out of pocket first. You're spending that full $200 per session until you hit your deductible, which if you're only going to therapy means you never actually hit it before the year resets. So you're paying full price anyway. I spent 4 years in traditional therapy dealing with financial anxiety. The irony is suffocating when you actually think about it. I was anxious about money, so I paid someone $225 every Thursday at 2 p.m. to talk about being anxious about money. My therapist was brilliant, genuinely helpful, but every session ended the same way. I'd walk out feeling lighter, then check my bank account on my phone in the parking lot and watch another $225 disappear. That immediate gut punch erased whatever progress we'd made that hour. Then AI therapy platforms started emerging in 2022 and I ignored them completely. I thought they were gimmicks, cheap substitutes for people who couldn't afford real help. I was wrong about almost everything. These platforms charge between $40 and $75 monthly for unlimited messaging and sessions. Not per session, per month. Suddenly you're looking at $60 monthly instead of $800 monthly. That's $740 back in your pocket every single month. Annually, that's $8,880 you're not spending. But cost means nothing if it doesn't actually work. Here's where the data gets uncomfortable for traditional therapy defenders. A 2023 Stanford study compared outcomes between AI therapy and human therapy for anxiety and depression over 6 months. The AI therapy group showed a 28% greater reduction in reported anxiety symptoms. Not slightly better, 28% more improvement. A separate UC Berkeley study found that 71% of participants rated their AI therapy sessions as equally or more helpful than previous human therapy. The reason isn't that AI is smarter. Your human therapist has 7 other clients that day and they're thinking about their own problems, and they had 15 minutes between your session and the previous one to review your file. The AI has your entire conversation history instantly accessible, never forgets what you said 3 months ago about your student loan anxiety, and doesn't get tired or distracted. It patterns matches across millions of therapy sessions to identify what actually worked for people with your exact financial situation and psychological profile. That's not cold and robotic. That's precision medicine applied to mental health. The compound effect of this is where your financial life actually changes. Those $740 you're saving monthly by switching from traditional therapy to AI therapy can be redirected into wealth building. Let me show you exactly what happens. Month 1, you take that $740 and pay down your highest interest credit card. If you're carrying the average American credit card balance of $6,050 at 22.8% interest, making minimum payments means you'll pay that off in 18 years and spend $7,900 in interest alone. Once that credit card is gone, you redirect that same $740 monthly into a high-yield savings account earning 4.5%. In year 1, you've saved $8,880 plus $198 in interest. By year 3, you have $28,629. That's a 6-month emergency fund for most households. You now have the financial cushion that eliminates 80% of the daily money stress that sent you to therapy in the first place. I switched to AI therapy in January of 2023 after a particularly devastating session where my therapist and I spent 55 minutes talking about my guilt over spending money on therapy. The absurdity finally broke through. I found a platform called Wobot that charged $69 monthly. The first week felt strange, I won't lie to you. I kept wanting to apologize to the AI for messaging too much or too late at night. Then I realized that's exactly the scarcity mindset that was keeping me broke. The moment you realize the algorithm understood your financial anxiety better than any human ever did, that's when everything changes. When I got an unexpected medical bill for $3,200, I messaged the AI immediately. Within that conversation, it helped me identify the panic response, walked me through verifying the bill was actually correct because 43% of medical bills contain errors, guided me to negotiate a payment plan, and helped me reframe the emergency as solvable without catastrophizing. That entire interaction happened over 45 minutes while I was sitting in my car before walking into work. Here's the twist nobody talks about. AI therapy is better for financial anxiety specifically because it's not human. A human therapist has their own money story, their own class background, their own assumptions about what's normal spending. When you tell a therapist who grew up wealthy that you're stressed about a $400 car repair, there's an empathy gap they're trying to bridge. The AI doesn't have a money story. It doesn't think $400 is either trivial or catastrophic. The data on financial decision-making quality backs this up. A 2024 Journal of Financial Therapy study tracked spending behavior of two groups dealing with financial anxiety. Group 1 received traditional weekly therapy at an average of $195 per session. Group 2 used AI therapy at $65 monthly. After 6 months, the AI therapy group reduced impulsive purchases by 42% compared to only 19% in traditional therapy. They also reported 61% greater confidence in long-term financial planning. By month 9 of using AI therapy, I had paid off $11,000 in credit card debt and built a $2,500 emergency fund. More importantly, my relationship with money had fundamentally changed. I wasn't avoiding my bank account anymore. I wasn't getting that cortisol spike every time I thought about my student loans. The AI had helped me build what my expensive therapist never could: a systematic process for managing both the emotional and practical sides of financial stress simultaneously. Every conversation included both emotional validation and concrete financial strategy. The long-term wealth implication is staggering when you actually calculate it. From age 30 to age 65, if you spend $800 monthly on traditional therapy, that's $336,000 spent over 35 years. If instead you spend $65 monthly on AI therapy and invest the $735 monthly difference in a retirement account earning 7% annually, you retire with $973,000 more. That's not a typo. The therapy format decision is a million-dollar decision over a typical career. I'm not saying AI therapy is perfect or right for everyone. If you're dealing with severe trauma or complex PTSD, you probably need a human specialist, at least initially. But for financial anxiety, general anxiety, depression related to money stress, career uncertainty, and daily mental health maintenance, the AI is not just cheaper, it's more effective because it's there when you need it. And that accessibility compounds. The platforms themselves keep improving. Wobot, Uper, Wysa, and Replica are the main players right now. They cost between $45 and $75 monthly. Most offer a free 7-day trial so you can test the interface before committing. The AI uses cognitive behavioral therapy and dialectical behavior therapy frameworks, the same evidence-based methods human therapists use. The difference is response time and cost. When you message at 3 a.m. because you just saw your credit score dropped 40 points, you get an immediate response that helps you regulate your nervous system and create an action plan. Your insurance company isn't going to tell you about this option because they've already negotiated rates with traditional therapy networks and they're not incentivized to promote cheaper alternatives. Your current therapist isn't going to suggest you switch because they'll lose $150 to $300 per week from your departure. You have to find this information yourself, and now you have it. The question is what you'll do with it. You can keep spending $800 to $1,000 monthly on traditional therapy and feel good about prioritizing mental health while your retirement account stays empty. The $10,000 is conservative. If you're in therapy for multiple years, you're looking at $30,000 to $50,000 easily. That money is gone, you can't get it back, but you can stop the bleeding today. Download one of the AI therapy apps, start the free trial, and have one conversation about your biggest money stress. Just one conversation. If it's useful, you just saved yourself between $7,000 and $9,000 this year. If it's not useful, you lost nothing and you go back to your human therapist. Stop paying $200 an hour, start keeping that money. Your financial future depends on this decision. If this video resonated with you, hit subscribe. Uncomfortable Truths releases new videos every day on psychology, relationships, mindset, and productivity, and more. Turn on notifications so you never miss one. The truth is uncomfortable, but it's always worth it.